What is going on, guys? It's your boy, Mr. Wanda-san, back again with a new Photoshop tutorial. So here we go. We're going to be learning a couple things. We're going to be learning the pen tool, the move tool, and the zoom tool. And basically, we're going to be using those three tools to cut things out of pictures and place them on other pictures, kind of like using the pen tool as scissors and creating a collage. So we already have our canvas set up. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find our file and open it. So to do that, we're going to go to File, Open, and we're going to find our picture that we're going to cut out. Usually when you download pictures off of the internet, it comes in the downloads, but I went ahead and moved mine to desktop. So here we go, image 8005, open. And it's me and my brother and my dad. Check it out, we're in Japan. Cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut I'm gonna cut all of us out, and I'm gonna put it on a $1 million mansion, right, that I bought with my teacher salary. So here we go. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to start cutting them out like this, going around with the pen tool, and then I don't need to be very accurate over here because the picture ends, and go around and end it like that. But before we do that, I kind of want to explain the pen tool. So first thing is there are two options with the pen tool. You have a path option and a shape option. The path option will create a selection. The shape option will create shapes, like vector shapes. We're going to go with the path option. And in the pen tool, right, there are, if you hold down your mouse button or the click button, you'll have all these different options for the pen tool. The one we're going to be using is the top one, the regular pen tool, but you see there are other options. Other ones you should care about is the add anchor point tool and the delete anchor point tool. And that will allow you to add or delete points from your path that you're going to create, but we're going to stick with the first one. So before we go in, it's kind of hard for me to see where to start the points. So I'm going to go real quick to the zoom tool, right? I'm going to make sure that the plus sign is equal, or the plus sign is, the magnifying glass is a plus sign, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, just like that. And then I can see us very clearly. I'm going to two-finger scroll down, and I'm going to go back to the pen tool. Hotkey for the pen tool is P, like that. And I'm going to start tracing the path, just like this. And don't worry if it's not accurate. There are things you can do to feather it out and to basically make it cleaner. But the more you zoom in, the more it'll allow you to be more accurate with the points. But basically we need to trace a line around all of us. A general tip is to take a little bit of pixels off of the inside of the subject. Your cutouts will look way more clean if you don't have little snippets of the background in your cutout. Okay, and so we're just about done. I'm going to finish off my path by clicking the original point, like that. And you know it's the original point when you hover over it and you see the little circle. All right, so we've created our path, but we're not done yet. Next up, we need to make sure, we need to turn this into a selection. So we're going to do that by going to Paths and hitting this little circle down here. It looks like a dotted circle. So again, the Paths tab is right next to your Layer tab, right over here. So Layers, Channels, Paths, and we're going to hit the dotted circle, and that should create a selection. So now we're going to drag this picture, this cutout, onto our canvas. And to do that, we're going to drag this window out just like that, so we can see both. And we're going to go to the move tool. And if everything worked out just fine and you're on the move tool, if you hover over the selection, you'll see a little pair of scissors, right? That will basically, it's going to tell you that's going to cut out this picture from the original picture. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Click, drag onto the canvas like that. And wow, look at my brother. He's gigantic. So now we need to resize this. And this is a common mistake a lot of students have, is they don't know how to resize. It doesn't give them the option. So we need to go ahead and with the move tool selected, make sure that this is turned on. Always make sure show transform controls are on, so you can actually move the dang thing. So make sure this is on. So usually before you resize, you should hold shift. Now in the newer version of Photoshop, you don't need to hold shift because the aspect ratio will already stay if you don't hold shift. So I'm gonna not hold shift because this is a newer version of Photoshop. But in other things like Google Slides, you need to hold shift to keep the aspect ratio of the image you're trying to resize. But for us, we don't need to. So we just need to hold shift, and it's gonna keep the aspect ratio. And we're just going to click and drag the corner and resize it just a little bit more, just like that. Okay, we're gonna make sure we fill up the whole screen, just like that. Okay, and boom, clean. So after this, we need to hit enter or this check mark, excuse me, to basically tell the computer that yes, we agree, we want the size of this picture. So hit enter, just like that, and boom, we're good to go. Now let's go ahead and open the mansion that we're going to be living at right over here. So again, file, open, click the mansion, and we don't need to cut anything out. We just need to drag this out and drag it onto the canvas. Put that back in. Now, this is not what we wanted. What we want to do is put the mansion behind us. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to layers. Oops. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go to layers, and then we're going to click and drag the mansion layer and put it behind us, just like that. So it looks like we're in the mansion. Then we're going to resize it because it's too small, and we're going to just fill the rest of the canvas with the mansion, just like that. Perfect. We're home, yes. And that's basically it. Again, right, we use 3 tools: the move tool, pen tool, and the zoom tool. Okay, each of those has options. If you hold, some of them have options actually. If you hold down your mouse button, your click button on the tools, you'll get a bunch of different options. Make sure you're on the right one. Make sure to check up here if you're all good. And again, make sure with the move tool, you have show transformation controls on, because without it, you won't be able to resize in the window. And that concludes the tutorial for today. So yeah, good luck photoshopping out there. Bye-bye.